In a world where laughter was king.
No in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No in a land either.
In a time...
I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
You're fired.
No, you're actually fired.
I'm fired.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I will go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
He's an interesting guy, man, and you know, he believes it. So, Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
That's news.
That's news. Here we go.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently winning the war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is scratching his head still after the CBS Sunday Morning clip about Flat Earth. With all the resources of the network, they were unable to at least disprove one Flat Earth argument given, instead relied on statements of miseducation, personal viewing ability, and Flat Earthers just don't believe higher educated people. Why would we, when they still refuse to offer any explanations? Oh, and P.S., you put this all in caps, and for peanut's sake, that's a great slang, actually. Stop saying Mad Mike was trying to prove the Earth was flat. Isn't that the truth? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, you're not very good at the internet. Although if you try to Google Flat Earth Clues right now, it's not going to work because YouTube is DOWN down at the moment, which is kind of a big deal because, you know, there's a billion registered users on it, as far as I know. Yeah, it's not a good thing, and that's in every country, as far as I know. It's spotty right now. It was down for at least 45 minutes, but we'll find out how that goes. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not October 16th, 2018, then you are listening to a rerun. Let's see, quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery goes a little something like this: "You cannot reason people out of a position that they did not reason themselves into." And that's from Ben Goldacre. I have never heard that name before. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved, self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. For more information on this, please check out the Flat Earth Clues, number 13, The Lost Nail. Phone number to give out tonight is the same as last week, 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Of course, the old number works too, which is 720-897-6111. If you're in the UK, type in the appropriate company code. Boy, it's not the first time I've done that. Country code, and then dial 44203-393-2871. And if you're just calling to listen, dial 605-472-9131. A few announcements, obviously. First off, I am going to be on the road this week. I'm heading to the documentary Behind the Curve. You can check that out at behindthecurvefilm.com. I'm going to be going to just outside of Little Rock, Arkansas, to the Hot Springs Film Festival. I'm going to be there, flying out on Friday, doing the show. I'm going to do a Q&A after the show on Saturday at the Hot Springs thing, if you want to hang around. And believe me, if you're in Flat Earth, you're going to want to see it eventually, even though you're going to hate it. And then I turn around. I don't even have, I think, 6 hours of sleep. And then I head straight out of there and fly up to Bellingham, Washington for the Doctober Film Festival. And as far as I know, the director is there. I think one of the producers is thinking about coming up, but at the very least, it's going to be the director and me. And that is going to be on this Sunday. Now, just so you know, things have changed a little bit because I am going to be at another film festival on Saturday. If my plane gets delayed or something happens, then I may not make it. But the director will be there. They're still going to show that, but I may not be there on Sunday. All I have to do is make it there by, I think, 8 p.m. because the showing's at 6 something. 8 p.m. is when the Q&A starts, just to let you know. So if you get there and I'm not there, you'll know why. And then you can tell other people that may not be listening to this show. Check out the FETV YouTube channel. Of course, you can't check it out right now, which is run by Paul and the Plane, which was the show just before this one. A second-rate show, to be sure, but you know what? Throw them a bone. The Denver conference coming up in November, about a month from now. You can go to fe2018.com. It is going to be a fantastic event. Everybody's going to be there, and tickets are still available. I think the early birds are all sold out. I don't know about the other stuff, so just check it out. And also, I got to mention this because DITRH told me. He goes, there's a billboard event. So the conference is going to be on Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be staying, I think, until Sunday afternoon. I'm coming in pretty early, but there's a Wednesday event because there's going to be a Flat Earth billboard unveiling and a big photo op with media. At least I think there's going to be media there. And that is going to be Wednesday, the Wednesday before the conference, late after the FE podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. Check out the, I'm sorry. I'm reading these notes wrong. And that is go to the FE podcast for last minute instructions. All right, so check out the FE podcast for last minute instructions. And conference tickets. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. One more thing. And that is if you want conference tickets. I did this a little bit last year, but people were a little smarter this year with how they bought them, if they're going to go, if they're not going to go. So if you're going to the conference and you still need tickets, you need them slightly cheaper, I have one person right now that's selling a ticket. If you had already bought your tickets and you cannot go and you want to, because it's a non-refundable event, then let me know and I will add them to the list. So right now I have one ticket, general admission. It's not VIP. You'll probably be able to get a little bit cheaper than normal. If you still need a ticket, email me and I will put you in contact. I'm kind of playing matchmaker to that effect. All right. So I think that's all the announcements. And if anyone wants to call in with corrections, by all means, do that. So who am I going to pick up first? Well, you know what? Let me look through the chat thing real fast. Okay, nothing special there. Everything's good there. Nothing special there. And Patricia says, have a great show. I'm going to go into TFR chat. Well, yeah, since YouTube doesn't have a chat right now, we're not, by all means, go into TFR chat. Okay. You know what? I'm going to start with, and Peanut Gallery says, everything is good. Thank you for chiming in, Peanut Gallery. And this is kind of a new thing for me because the last 2 weeks I've missed the first 20 minutes of the show for technical issues. And then, of course, the second I get in, the internet breaks and 1 billion YouTube users can't get in. So let's pick up the first one. Let's just start off with a bang. All right. Let's go straight to and Peanut Gallery is actually in the TFR chat. So give him a lot of grief. So let's start off from bang. 845 area code. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York.
There you go.
With these vagabond shoes. Gotta throw that in there.
I'm gonna have to.
How are you, sir?
That's awesome. I'm good. I heard you called in during Paul's show, so I actually heard you there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Definitely
he's a good guy. Yeah, good guy. Terrible.
Hey, good job on breaking the internet, by the way.
That is really, really
weird. What did you do? What did you
do? I swear I didn't do anything. I mean, I typed in flat earth and hit search, about as heavy as I ever do on a Tuesday afternoon.
40 billion times.
No. I didn't write an automated program to just start spamming flat earth in the search engine. No, I swear to God. In fact, I didn't. I swear to you, I did not do this. As a matter of fact, I was watching a video. I was taking a break. And so I was watching a 40-minute video by Red Letter Media. And that thing actually, it was never interrupted the entire time. And it was probably cached, it was probably buffered. But I was watching the entire thing. And then just out of happenstance, Patricia Steer writes me. And she goes, hey, click on this link. I think something's wrong. And I click on the link and it's, YouTube then broke. Of course, my stream was still playing the Red Letter Media thing that I was watching. Go figure. I mean, it's a big deal. People, again,
I think it is.
Well, for people that don't know the logistics of YouTube, look, it is a wholly owned subsidiary of Google. So you're talking,
and it's worldwide.
Yeah, it's at least 1 billion registered users. That's a lot.
Oh, I'm sure PewDiePie is.
Well, he's not suffering. In fact, I was reading a story, a related story where he's hit 67 million subs, and if you believe that all of them are, please, I would imagine just a fraction of them are legitimate, because I'm sorry, I've watched his thing. Every other person on YouTube has some sort of content credibility, right? But PewDiePie just doesn't have it. I mean, he's literally just he's a Swedish internet troll. That's all he is. Yeah, a couple 100,000 subs, maybe 1 million if you get lucky. 67 million? No, not buying it. And here's okay. Again, I don't want to go off on a rant on PewDiePie, but I have to mention this, and that is the numbers are staggeringly huge compared to the second highest celebrity, single person that has the sub base is Justin Bieber, and he's coming in around half that number. And then,
Right.
small players like Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, they're coming in just a smidge before that. He doubles. If he was really that popular, he'd be on talk shows every single day. You would see him. You wouldn't be able to get him out of the media. The Kardashians would be nothing compared to him. He'd be overshadowing Kanye on a regular basis. He's not. Nobody wants to talk to the guy because they know, they watch his stuff. It's like, seriously, I watch stuff. I mean, Shane, like, for example, one of my favorites, the guy that made Flat Earth videos, Shane, Shane Dawson, right? He's got 15 million subs and they're all diehard legit. They are loyal to that man because, he shares his pain and he had a rocky childhood. 15 million subs, perfectly reasonable. A Swedish asshole like PewDiePie? No, not a chance. Anyway, what's on your mind, man? Mark? Oh, I do my rant and you get disconnected? Wait, do I even see you? You're not even on the screen anymore. Wait, hang on. What happened? Mark?
Yeah, that was weird. That was strange. I didn't even I'm looking at my phone and it turned off, turned back on, and I heard you talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, good rant. And then you said something, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah, you would have laughed at it, which is, and then then all of a sudden you drop to the bottom of the call list. Oh well,
Weird.
Anyway, what's on your mind? What can I do for you?
Nothing. Just wanted to say hello. We had a nice sunny day until this afternoon. They were heavy spraying. Now it's hazy. You could barely see the moon. It's just a fuzzy white dot in the sky. Like they're always just dumping on us. It's horrible in New York. Yeah. And that video. Oh, and I didn't say this on Paul's call when I called him, but sorry, but holy crap, Patricia looked hot. Oh my God. She was like,
and just like that, his phone dies again. Okay, well, I will read the quote from Mark because I'm not going to pick him up anytime soon. Hopefully he listens. The quote from the Peanut Gallery is, we spent... All right, I'm going to read you the quote as...
What?
I'm going to read you the quote and then you can say your goodbyes.
Then I'll go.
Yeah, because you're about as bad as YouTube is right now. The quote from Peanut Gallery is, we spend the first year of a child's life teaching it to walk and talk and the rest of its life to shut up and sit down. There's something wrong there. And that's from, who said that? That was Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Really? Oh, man. I like that quote.
I know. I'm not saying Neil's a dumb guy. I'm just saying he's a puppet.
No.
He's a science jack in the box. That's all he is.
Well, I'm mad at him because
you were mentioning real quick. You were mentioning the CBS thing where Patricia was on CBS Sunday Morning.
She was amazingly hot, like off the charts hot. But she was awesome when they did the 20 questions. She was on her game. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Did a great job.
She was extremely focused. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out Flat Earth and Mainstream or Flat Earth CBS Sunday Morning, or just check out the CBS Sunday Morning show hosted by Jane Pauley. I mean, it was about as high profile as you could get for a Sunday morning. There is no big. In fact, my brother-in-law caught the show. He was just he knew nothing about anything, and he was watching, and he's met Patricia. And he's like, holy smokes. And, my sister wasn't impressed, but whatever, it was a cool thing. And she was bulletproof during it. She could not have answered those questions any better.
No, it was perfect. She was spot on. Spot on. I have a quote for you.
Yeah.
I've never turned into a bee. I've never been chased by a mummy or met a ghost. But many of these ideas in my books are suggested by real life. And the only reason I brought him up, it's R.L. Stine from Goosebumps. I happened to see that movie this evening, and I was looking, and I stumbled upon this, and it's interesting because a lot of people are like mummies, or zombies. They walk around, they have their phone in their hand, they don't know what's going on. I mean, even the simple stuff, the fake stuff, none of them pay attention to C-SPAN. Nobody even notices what their local politicians are doing. Nobody asks questions. They just go through life.
Good point.
Crazy.
Excellent point. All right, man.
All right. Later, man. I love you, brother. Awesome job. Keep it up. And if you can you maybe turn the internet back on? We want some YouTube.
I will put in a request. Fine. I'll do it during the first break.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, Mark. You're awesome.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, we're jumping straight over to 334 area code. Sorry you've been waiting for 20 minutes. What is happening?
Well, hey, Mark. This is Carlos again.
Hey.
Hey, I got two questions for you. So,
Yes.
what is your position on the Moonlight temperature, and also what are your comments on the airplane jet fuel hoax?
Okay. The first thing would be the Moonlight temperature. And I'm a big fan of it. I was one of the first people to get contact. In fact, I was contacted first on this show. Somebody called me at the end of 2015, and Jonathan was my co-host. And this guy just brings up, he goes, "Hey, by the way, did you know the moon temperature was cold?" And we laughed and we laughed. we thought it's like, all right, he's a little nuts. But then we realized, okay, we can't be hypocritical here. We are flat Earth. We can't just shoot this thing down. And so I started, spreading around the information to people, saying, "Hey, look, get a point-and-click thermometer and start doing that. Start doing this." And Rob Skiba was one of the guys that made the first really, really good videos on it, where he did a test himself out back east and got a 13-degree temperature swing. And then other people started doing it in water, and then other people were using copper strips. And then some people were mixing water and copper strips so you could take the atmosphere right out of it. And the most interesting test, and I will take partial responsibility for this, was that I was the first one to say, okay, forget about just moonlight and not moonlight, moonlight and moonshade. What happens when you take a magnifying glass to moonlight? Does it get warmer or does it get even colder? And it turns out it actually even gets colder by a couple degrees. And it was just fascinating to me.
Who has done that experiment? Has somebody done that experiment already with the magnifying glass?
Oh yeah. You can look for it on my channel. There's a list, and I don't know the name of the channel. It's either Zeteticism.com or one of the others. But I've got a playlist called Flat Earth Shortlist for New People, and I've got I think 2 of those tests in there. So check it out if you get a chance, or you can just type in Moonlight Flat Earth Moonlight test or Moonlight temperature test. They're fantastic, and I absolutely agree. Done it myself.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. I've not seen anybody use a magnifying glass. I attempted to use a big Fresnel lens from a TV,
right?
But I didn't have a much luck, and I figured that using that plastic Fresnel lens might be blocking the thermal radiation.
Maybe,
which I would think.
I'm
actually working on making a convex mirror. That way I don't actually reflect the pure light.
Nice. The magnifying glass is a great one. If you get a chance, you get one on a jeweler's arm. Jeweler's magnifying glasses that are meant to stay in a position. Those are great because, again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about here, it is hang on one second. Sunlight magnifies sun and you can burn paper, but moonlight, when it magnifies, it should get warmer, but it actually exactly does what a cold laser should do. The other thing I mentioned is kind of anticlimactic, would be the jet fuel test, which is it might be possible, but it's not. It doesn't really register on my radar too much. I don't get a lot of calls about. I mean, yeah, it might be possible, but it is so far down on my list of conspiracies that it's like, I understand the concept, and I'm not going to shoot it down because, again, I'm flat Earth. But it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's crazier to think that that you have vessels with compressed air in an airplane to run those things. I mean, people don't realize how much power compressed air in a vessel has.
Right.
And that's even more dangerous than even, you know. And anyway, I always thought it was ridiculous too. I just never heard you comment on it. I was wondering what your opinion was in regards to that. But I've seen a lot of people talk about it and then just kind of move on and not talk about it again, and then, you know, elaborate more on it. And so
yeah,
like,
it didn't get that much traction with me compared to like the no forests on flat Earth or something like that. It was fine. Again, look, there's a lot of lies and a lot of conspiracies out there. This one, it's kind of cool, kind of interesting, but I got other things I got to work on. Besides that, I'll let other people run with it. Anyway, anything else? Because I do want to pick up one call before the break. Anything else?
Yeah, well, I have a quote that I actually said it at the end of the previous show from Paul, and it's, don't be so open-minded that your brains may fall off.
I like it. That's awesome. All right, man. Hey,
thank you for your time, Mark.
Thank you. You have a good rest of your evening, okay?
We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye. All right, let's jump over to 905 area code. You got 3 minutes until the music, Canada. What's happening?
Oh, doing good. Well, that's a lie. How are you, Mark?
I'm fine. Well, I'm fine because I don't have to be on YouTube while I'm on the show. So it's totally fine.
Yeah, and I can't get into the TFR chat, but that's another story. But we were just talking about the plane fuel thing.
Yeah.
So I think that vibrations or it starts with an H, like harmonics or something like that, could actually cause levitation. Because I saw something a long time ago that said bumblebees can't fly because they're not aerodynamic. But the way they flap and the hollow chamber that's inside them, they can levitate and zip and zap and all these things. So yeah, that last call just totally threw me off to go jump onto this thing. So,
it's cool.
Sorry.
It's cool. It may be a real thing. I treat it, again, it's kind of related. I kind of treat it the same way I do chemtrails, which is I believe in chemtrails, but there is such a wide speculation on exactly what's happening with them that there is no consistency. Nobody can agree. You get 10 people in the room, all of them agree there's chemtrails. No one can agree on what's happening. So you gotta go ahead.
So it just couldn't be Project Bluebeam.
Say it one more
time. If they're going to Project Bluebeam.
Oh yeah. Project Bluebeam. I'm still waiting for a good Project Bluebeam. I'm still waiting for one of those. That's something really, really spectacular.
But see that city over China.
Yeah,
remember that one?
Yeah, that was neat. I wish it was shot in HD, but yeah, I thought it was really cool.
And I certainly don't take it for fact by any means, of course, like anybody listening.
Right.
But the other thing that I had written down here is
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Your pacing is terrible.
Everything. I know I'm bad with timing. Anything that we say is in vibration, because voice or whatnot is all sound and vibration. Yeah. So frequency.
Anyway, man, thanks very much. And Flex dude, okay?
Joe Jackson.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It is a call-in show, and we have quite a few calls lined up. Why? Because YouTube appears to be down right now, which is kind of a big deal. Again, 1 billion channels, billion accounts. That's a lot. Anyway, let's jump over to 214 area code. 214, you are on with Strange World. What is happening in your neck of the woods?
Oh, hi, Mark. It's Jan in Dallas. We're doing well down here. I had when I was at a friend of mine's house, and in her foyer, she's got a small little table and a window on either side of her front door. And she said once a year, every year, at the exact same time, the sun hits that table.
Interesting. And you thought it was a good example as the flat Earth model, as the fixed model.
Fixed. Yeah, flat Earth and then fixed also.
Yeah.
Because it's stable.
Yeah.
We're not moving.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I like that. Go ahead.
Outside of a miracle from God, of course it's that. But then He, in my opinion, created the whole thing. So.
Right.
Anyway, also, would you tell me what your schedule is at the conference? What you're doing?
Oh, for the Denver conference?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. So I am going to be, so the conference is on a Thursday and a Friday officially. I'm showing up there on Tuesday, I believe. Wednesday, it's mostly informal stuff, billboard things and VIP things. Thursday, I'm actually not doing anything. I am just talking to as many people as possible and doing media interviews and working with documentary teams. And then Friday morning, I am the first session. So I am the very first speaker for Friday morning, and I'm just doing a Q&A. I'm doing a short little statement speech, kind of like I did up in Canada, and then I am going to be doing Q&A, I think, for about an hour, and then I am, again, just mingling with people until the end of Friday, because my first thing is on Friday morning. And the end of Friday, the last event of the conference is the Flat Earth Music Video Award. I'm sorry, not just the Music Video Awards, the Flat Earth Video Awards with Patricia Steer. And she and I are going to be hosting that. And then, spending the evening with all the great people of the Flat Earth community and trying to recover a little bit on Saturday. I think I fly out on Sunday. How's that for detail?
Oh, I like it. Sounds cool. I know you'll do great. And I'm going to stream it, so I'm all excited about that.
Cool.
And I wanted to say I'm so glad that Uber Josh is doing well. And I wanted to give a shout out to the gentleman from 910. I think he has such interesting things to say, and I ponder them, and I hope he keeps calling in and everything.
Cool.
And I hope you have a great evening, okay?
And thank you very much. I look forward to your next call.
Okie doke. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was Jan from Dallas, one of my favorite. She leaves the nicest voicemails ever, and I listened to it like 2 or 3 times because just wonderful attitude behind it. All right, let's go over to 651 area code. 651, you're on with Strange World. What is happening out there?
Hello, Mark. Wesley Stace, Flat Earth News Talk. Wait for it. You can go. No, wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Lady. Go.
Wes, I swear. The show's about pacing and momentum, and then you come in and it's like a car running into a wet bale of hay, just thud.
Yes,
that's it.
And it's a car that's always on time. Ah.
No. How are you, by the way? By the way, I have to say your microphone sounds a lot better than normal. Normally, I would expect a lot of static and distortion, or you sound like you're in a drain pipe, but you actually sound pretty good right now.
Yes. I did some tweaking on my computer, and I found a lot of boo-boos that I was not aware of, and I got rid of them.
Yeah.
So now the audio is coming through very clear.
I'm just saying you don't have to click on every naked link that you find on the internet. Right? Some of them go to places you don't want to go, where bad people do bad things, including install bad software on your machine. Just saying.
The dark internet.
It's not that. It's not what I mean. No, that is not the dark web. That is just the flesh toned web. It is. There's nothing dark about it. Hey, look, everybody goes there. Just don't have to click on everything.
Come on now. Oh yeah. Again, I wanted to thank Patricia Steer for being so damn professional. When I watched that, I'm like, oh God, yeah. And then they went to Mad Mike, and I'm like, oh shit.
Even Mad Mike's wasn't so horrible. I've seen him look terrible, and he does have a documentary about him and all his escapades of last year and this year that's going to be coming out. But Patricia did amazing. I agree with you. She did amazingly well, and they were talking to her for almost a solid hour, from what I understood, and she was just on it. And I don't even think they picked the best stuff. I think they just they try to abbreviate as much as possible. And what I even loved more than that was that the show has a showcase theme in the beginning of it, and we were that.
Right.
Jane Pauley is introducing. We were the first story. The set was with globes in the backdrop, and she was introducing us. That is no small feat. And of course, so it'll be when you type in Flat Earth in YouTube, when YouTube finally comes up, the first thing you'll see at the top of the screen, you'll see kind of a globe picture, and that will be CBS Sunday Morning. It's going to be up there for a little while. And the comments, of course, are brutal. Oh, shoo. It is, it is a battleground in there. But I was proud of the people involved, and I was there. Here's the funny part, was that I was there. I was at that very meetup with Patricia, talking to a completely different news media team. I was talking with National Geographic, and CBS was not allowed to talk to me. And Patricia was the perfect choice. And in fact, she did better than I think I would have done. She's rapid fire. If you watch her eyes, she's like totally focused on them, does not blink. I thought she did great.
That was the other thing. Yeah, that was the other thing I noticed too. And it's like, yeah, I could just see him trying to throw all that stuff at you and you crack.
Right. Well, I would get a little bit emotional, or I would throw a little bit of an attitude spin on the ball. But she was, you're looking at her and she just not moving. She completely stayed in frame. She wasn't animated. It was like, it was great. I was on
point.
Yeah.
As they would say, she was on point.
Yeah. And I was so hoping, that she would get this one done. And this was the one I was waiting for. So anyway, I have a quote for you, by the way.
So what I got from Peanut Gallery earlier was YouTube saying that they're shutting people down for double content.
Well,
and if they see any of it,
yeah, okay. The story you're talking about was from a few days ago. And YouTube was trying to crack down on bot services. Basically, the big bullet point in that thing. Yes, and I know Peanut Gallery's chiming in and saying for copying videos from another channel and stuff. Yeah, because there are you can set up an automated service to rip videos if you're a good enough developer, and put them back up under your channel, and you can just start.
YouTube's back on, by the way. Just
is it back up?
YouTube's back on. Yep.
Oh, good.
At least it is in Minnesota.
Well, then I'm not going to worry about it. So, yeah. But yeah, we'll have to see if they do crack down on the bot services, which are in YouTube. I don't know if they're going to do it anytime soon. They can try.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, and I was also going to mention to Zulu, if he was going to do an after show, Hangouts is working fine because I'm actually talking on Hangouts.
Oh.
So it's working.
Awesome.
That's
all right
good.
then.
Where's my quote for the day?
Oh, fine. Your quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. And that is from Epictetus.
I'm trying to process that, but yeah.
He's actually very quotable. I've heard this name before, and it throws me every time. It's Epictetus. Epictetus. That must be it.
Like I'd be able to figure that one out. I can barely remember most people's names.
Right.
So, all right, Mark, I will let you go. Keep up the good work. We all love you, and it's always fun to come and throw a little curveball your way every now and then.
You know what? Go to hell, Wes. And I put mute on him, so he couldn't respond. Let's pick up 815 area code. 815, you're on with Strange World, and it's got to be better than Wes. So what do you got?
Yeah, I'm always good. Hear me?
Oh, I can. You're a little quiet.
You got me. There you go. Sorry.
What's up?
I had to get my earpiece. I'm a truck driver. You know me. You know me this number by now, don't you? No, I'm just kidding. Come on, I sent you a picture of where you live. For heaven's sake, you said,
right. You know what? I am going to. Well, here's the problem. You come in as wireless caller.
Oh shit!
I know.
Sorry.
You gotta.
I'm a wireless caller.
And I don't. But now, since you made a big deal of it, I am going to remember Spring Valley, Illinois, wherever you got your phone down there.
There you go. That's where I live. You want to come visit me? I'll come visit you.
I have no doubt. When you send me a postcard of the bridge,
did you get one?
Yeah.
Did you get a postcard though in the mail, or didn't I?
I did get I got a postcard, but okay. Aside from that, but you also sent me a picture of the bridge that is at the north end of the island.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. When you send that, it's like
freak you right out, huh?
It's like he's 40 minutes
where
away.
I am.
Well, no, I put my address there, but I don't get people that actually, show up. Dang. Well, because I'm on an island.
This is one thing. One thing about Dave Schmidt, he always shows up. That's the scary thing about me. I show up everywhere.
Well,
like right now, I'm in the mountains of Pennsylvania, going to D.C. to deliver some explorers.
Didn't you say you had
tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got 2 different businesses. Did you see my business?
Didn't you say you had to deliver?
Did I send you that?
Say it again.
Did you see my my LLC?
Yes.
Did I send you that?
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
People think I'm a quack. Dude, get this. I delivered a car downtown Chicago. I do it with the LLC, my Flat Earthers LLC.
Right.
I get down there and he goes, Flat Earth, that's interesting. And he's like, you know what? That's pretty cool. Do you believe that? Yeah, I believe that. And he goes, man, I don't have an opinion on nothing. Man, I got to start waking up. He was from Jordan, though. From Jordan. The country
weird.
Jordan.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I never had an opinion on anything in this country when I got here. Man, I got to start waking up. I was like, maybe you do.
Nice. That's awesome.
But that's my newest thing, Mark, is every day I'm going to meet somebody new. Personally, meet somebody new.
Cool.
So actually, I met a guy today from stinking. I forget it's a communist country, but it's between Argentina and Brazil. I forget the name of the country, but it's a communist country. And he's up here living and working. He's been here for 17 years.
Okay.
But that's the thing. That's my newest thing. And I got a question too. How come? I'm sure you heard of MMS, right?
MMS.
You had to have. Yeah. MMS. Miracle Mineral Solution.
No.
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 Oh, you never have. Well, this is really interesting that it's not ever brought up. I know this is Flat Earth, whatever, but I know you have everything comes out.
That's okay.
But
Go
MMS
ahead.
is called Miracle Mineral Solution.
Yeah.
It's actually how you get rid of going to get drugs and all that. This stuff is sodium chloride, and basically I use it when I get sick. It's like in 3 days I'm perfect. I go to the doctor every year. My kids get me sick. I'm usually on antibiotics for stinking 10 days, then they'll put me on another 10 days. Sick as a dog for a month.
Right.
I tried this stuff. I was skeptical. Dude, the first day I thought I was going to die. Second day, 50%. Third day was clear. And I did it twice now. I got sick, majorly sick twice, and the stuff actually does work. And it's like people need to really start looking into other things out there for sickness, because it's all about money.
Sure.
Without without money, without doctors, and all the pushing of the drugs, everybody's whacked.
Right.
Right. But
I hear
that's cool. So that was that. You like that picture though? That had to freak you out a little, huh?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, yeah. I mean, not as
actually,
bad.
Believe it or not, the guy, my customer lives up there, right near that bridge, somewhere up there.
Oh yeah.
And I got to pick up a car. I got to pick a car up there over the winter and bring it down to El Cajon, California.
If you go,
I try to get a hold of journalism. Him, I know he's down. Where is he? Near Sacramento or something? I pass by him all the time. I'm like, dude, where are you? I want to stop in and say hello. I stop by anybody. I want to actually get a hold of the guy down there and the Uber driver. I forget his name.
Josh.
I don't listen a whole lot to a lot of stuff. Josh.
Yeah.
Because he's always around. What area is he near?
He's in Los Angeles.
Is he driver up? He's in L.A. Oh, I was just down there the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, we got.
I get around.
We got people everywhere. Anyway, I do have to run and pick up some
Anyways,
other calls.
okay, yeah, I know. Hey, one day I'm gonna text you my phone number. Can you call me sometime? Just talk off the line.
Sure.
So I don't have to take up your show so much. Because I like to talk to you personally.
Fine. Yeah.
It's a little bit easier. I mean, I don't mind talking on the radio, but I want everybody else got their own things they want to say. I just want to touch base with you a little better.
That's cool. And
I'll email you my phone number.
Okay.
Do you have my phone number there? Or does it come up?
Email it to me again.
Okay, will do. All right, you have a good night. And everybody else, have a good night too. Enjoy.
All right. See you, man.
Cheers.
Okay, bye-bye. That man is full of energy. Flat Earth energy, but energy nonetheless. Let's jump over to 502 area code. What is going on out there?
Not a damn thing like usual.
Hey, I heard that YouTube is back up.
Yes, I see that too. In fact, Sue's channel is back up too.
Oh, all right. I mean, an hour is not that big in the grand scheme of things, but it is when you have 1 billion people that are latched onto it.
In the world of the internet, could you picture that'd be like a stock market shutting down for an hour? The world panics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it is the new television. And I mean, what is it? They say basically anyone under the age of 30 has YouTube basically up at all times in some form or another.
No, it's kind of like your show not starting on time.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh, I want to call in about your CBS show.
Yeah, the CBS Sunday Morning show that was recorded in August in Arcadia, California, and finally aired just a couple days ago.
I liked it. I thought
Did
it was great. CBS is talking about Flat Earth on a show that's pretty popular Sunday morning. You know, ironically, my mother told me to turn it on.
Right.
But it wasn't bad, but a couple things I caught. Okay, yeah, they were doing their usual editing, you know, with using that thumbnail of Patricia and whatnot.
Right.
And she did do an awesome job.
Yeah.
And they had to bring Mad Mike into that. I hate how they say that he was proven flat earth. Hate that. But the actual reporter and what's her name, Leslie, whatever her name is, never said we were wrong. They left it as an open question.
Right.
So, I mean, that was interesting.
Yeah, and you didn't have to headline with it either. You didn't have to showcase it. You could have. I mean, you got to remember what else is like. Tina Turner was on that show. Why didn't you headline with Tina? You know, it's because Flat Earth is more interesting than Tina. No offense, Tina, if you're listening. But it's
good.
Yeah.
No,
but you're right. They didn't shut us down.
No, they didn't shut it down. They brought in the Jeopardy winner. Like, he won some Jeopardy stuff. I don't know what makes him an authority. Surely CBS couldn't they have gotten one of the other idiots, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, or one of those other idiots at least.
Right.
But, yeah. But the only thing I hate when they do it is what they pick. Like I said, they picked Patricia with that one thumbnail.
Right.
Out of all her videos, they picked that one.
Right.
And they used Mad Mike, and I don't know why. How did he? I know we put the flat Earth symbol on his rocket.
Right.
And he's talking about going in a balloon now. I guess after he wins his election, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, for the record, I will say I love Dean Marble. Good guy, good video. But I do hate that spirit level video of his.
Well, it generated. It
generated. Yeah.
It put him on the map. I mean, he got attention in a hurry from that thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was good for him, and it brought some awareness up. But I must admit, that level of video is the easiest one. It works either way. So
right.
I hate how they use that. He has other videos they could have used and other questions and all that.
Right.
I do like how they specifically pick that garbage. But yeah, YouTube's back up though. Evidently, I don't know why it went down.
Yeah. By the way, the Mad Mike thing, and if he's listening or people are going to talk to him, they may they want to relay to it. I don't really care. And that was CBS contacted me, and they wanted to track him down, and I laid it out for him as best as I could, which was, look, he's coming in late to the game. He wanted to have his rocket done. The Flat Earth community funded him, I think, around $8,000 to finish the rocket. But he's not the biggest Flat Earth advocate by a long shot. He doesn't really make videos. He doesn't go on Hangouts. He doesn't talk to anybody in the community. He's does things late to the game. But they wanted to talk to him, of course, because of the rocket thing. Once it generated that much heat, I still have people asking about him. From time.
Well, no, he's good and he's okay to interview. And like you said, he's going to do that balloon experiment. He says or whatnot.
Yeah, whatever. Well, that balloon experiment's never going to happen because he says he wants a GoFundMe. He basically wants $2 million to do the balloon experiment, the manned balloon experiment. And that's like $2 million.
Okay.
The what?
A little excessive.
Yeah, I think $2 million is a little excessive. And by the way, if you get that sort of money, you better have receipts because you're talking about a major operation. I don't think anything costs that much money. But whatever.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. I like Mad Mike, and I like, he's into it and all that. I just hate how the media portrays. He launched his rocket to see the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Well, his rocket, I mean, I think I've got a tower next to me higher than that rocket went.
Oh, yeah. And everybody, any flat Earth person worth their salt, they bring it up. It's like, no, of course he wasn't. He was just trying to create flat Earth awareness. No question. Now, right. the extended $2 million balloon test, that would be a lot more substantial, but logistically it is a nightmare. I mean, you just you basically have to do like a betting pool to see what'll kill him. Will it be oxygen deprivation? Will it be hypothermia? Will it be blood? What?
Maybe we can buy an astronaut suit from the Russians because I saw them on eBay, and then you could put yourself in that and go up there and you could do both tests. You can see if there's a curve or not, and you can see if the suit works.
Yeah. Basically, the rocket thing is kind of silly. Now, doing a manned thing, like the Felix Baumgartner thing, yeah, that's what you'd want to do if you're going to do it. Because he'd have to come up with a completely new propulsion system for the rocket. I mean, you'd have to use it. It's something that's never ever been done before. He'd have the engineers he would have to hire. He'd never be able to do it himself. You'd need tons of space engineers for this. Anyway, it's never ever going to happen. He's never going to get the money for it. Nobody's going to fund it.
No.
Nor do I encourage anybody to give him $2 million to do a balloon hybrid rocket thing, whatever it is. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
it shouldn't cost that much to get a balloon and a rocket. I mean, how much did he pay for his last rocket?
Yeah, not much. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying overall the CBS is good because it's going to generate, questions, which is what we want. A good question just to, debunk it. Go ahead, debunk the globe and tell us the fact, or you're going to convert over and figure out you can't. One of the two. Either way, it's a win.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will get the attention of other networks that will look at it and say, oh, wow, they showcased this. And then they'll look at like the ratings and look at the comments. I mean, the comments say it all for me. The comments section in YouTube for CBS's that video has generated a massive amount of comments already, considering, it hasn't even hit 100,000 views yet. But anyway, you got 20 seconds to the music.
I believe you were the first one.
The what?
You were the first comment on there.
Was I?
Yeah. Pull it up. You're the first one on there.
Oh, hey, there's the music, man. Guys, say goodbye.
All right, cool. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ella.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the scrapboard? Nothing. Alright, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash and bump everything up to condition written. Stand by the floor, occupation. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major
What's happened? You see the string in my neck scar.
What about Major
I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. We're doing a call-in show, and we have a couple calls lined up. But before we do, let me give out the number again. That's 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Straight to the phones. How about 951? 951, you were on with Strange World. What are we talking about?
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, I know you.
What's up, man?
And how fortuitous is this? Because that caller from back east was asking about you.
Yeah, I heard that the guy that's he's a driver. Is he a truck driver or something? Or what is he? He was talking about dropping off a car somewhere too.
Right. Yeah, he is a truck driver. So,
But yeah, I would love to chat with anyone. It doesn't matter. If he wants to hit me up next time he's in LA, that's cool. But yeah, dude. So that thing with Patricia was really cool. I really liked that.
Did ya? Except
the guy that was in that thing with her, the scientific guy, Shear, I think.
Right.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, because it was funny, because I was actually sitting with Sydney when I came across my feed, and I started watching it, and I was like, I don't like this guy at all.
Right.
And then, like, within like a couple hours, there's this article with him where he's talking about it's just his best answer is to hop in a plane.
Yeah, well, and I think he was kind of scrambling for that at the end. He was in trouble. He didn't know what to make of it. But I liked his opening thing where he's going, yeah, this is a problem. There's there's something happening out there. And that's what a lot of scientists say. They say there's something, they can't quite quantify it. It was kind of like when the U.gov survey came out. When the 18 to 24-year-olds, a third of them weren't believing in the globe, and they're going, and they could not make sense of it. And to the point where they're going, well, it's probably just bad data. It's like, wow, who's in denial now? But yeah, this guy bugged me a lot. And well, remember, listen to the answers he was giving. And I know they were editing around him as well, the same with Patricia. But when he was saying that, yeah, you shouldn't challenge the intellectuals. You shouldn't challenge science. He was doing everything but saying that we're right because we're intelligent. You should just listen to us and shut up. It's like, wow. It's like, okay, you're just adding fuel
Not
to.
only that, they keep telling us how we're denying science, and it's like, no, we're the ones that want to bring back science at its purity.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like the one of the comments that got the most thumbs up during the on the Raw video from CBS, not the Mirror that I did, was saying that the biggest problem in this country is anti-intellectualism. And it had 150 thumbs up just this morning. And it's like, wow. What are you talking about? All we're saying is, science should, like you said, it should remain pure. It shouldn't morph into its own religion, which is scientism, which is what has happened. And his statements are even doing that. I mean, come on, let's face it. Who does he kind of sound like when he's saying that? You shouldn't question us. No one should question us. He sounds like some of people in high levels of religious power. So
yeah, and it's all bad. That's just all bad. Although I think Patricia handled it great, though. She was just rapid fire with her answers, and yes, she straight up looked like she had nerves of steel while she was talking to them on that.
Yeah, she does. She does have nerves of steel. Trust me, man. Well, I mean, you've seen me do my show with her. I'm sorry, her show with me. Ooh, wow, I'm going to catch hell for that. Where she look, I've been trying to throw her curveballs every freaking, and I do it offline too. And she, like only once or twice did she even sort of blush a little bit. I mean, most of the time she's a freaking machine. It just kills me. It's like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I had no doubt when she sat down with this guy for an hour. I'm going, not worried. I'm not even going to look. It's going to be, she's going to be better at it than he is. And she was perfect. It was a great representation for her. Heck, Netta did well. I thought Netta did it was very brief, but Netta was fine on camera. I don't know I don't even know if she knew she was going to be used for that. But yeah, I thought it was it does nothing but help us. And it made the guy that looked the worst in the entire segment, I hate to say it, was the guy from Harvard, the Harvard annex guy, whatever his name was. Can't remember his name. I thought he was the guy that was getting emotional. Everybody else, we were pretty cool.
It just seemed like it took them I thought it was weird the way it was put together with Mad Mike. Kind of like your other caller was talking about. Mad Mike was only in March, and this meetup was in like August.
CBS was late.
Right there.
I know. CBS was late to the game, and they approached me and they said, do you know how to get a hold of this guy? And I threw him some numbers of people that knew people, and they tracked him down. And I had somebody ask me about him, I think 2 weeks ago. He's still, those headlines aren't going away. So, but the thing is, he's not doing any more launches, and he's not really that involved with the community. So whatever, that's fine. It's an interesting angle. Let's face it, it is interesting. And here's where they lucked out. They lucked out because they used footage from the documentary team that was following him. They're still trying to publish the movie. From what I heard, the title they're going to try to use Rocket Man, but they're never going to be able to use it because the movie, talk about bad timing, the life story of Elton John is being released next year. And the working title is, big shock here, Rocket Man. So, yeah. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, it was fine. I love the fact that they showcased it. That was the big thing for me, which was they could put this thing in the middle. They could have used it as comedy relief at the end. Oh no, let's open with this. I mean, for anyone that knows the media, having Jane Pauley come out, and she's a bit, she is about as veteran as female journalist as you get. And a Barbara Walters type of person. She's coming out there talking about this straight-faced. That is a big, big deal. And there was a lot of people watching that on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So
true.
Yeah. So and the timing's good because who else was there? National Geographic, and that one should be coming out. It's the 16th now. It should be coming out in the next 3 weeks. I think they're timing it around the conference, and that one's going to be much longer. This one was only 7 minutes. Theirs is going to be much longer. That one, as you know, because you were there, that one I'm curious about.
Yeah, that's the one that we've all been waiting on.
Yeah. How are they going to paint us? How are they going to do it? We sent them so much additional footage after that test. We sent them so many things. Will they use any of it, or will they just stick to their guns because they're National Geographic? I don't know. Or will they paint us as dangerous? Who knows? Oh, will Sydney be on the cover of this thing, like yelling at the camera?
But no, dude, like seriously, this Nat Geo one, this is the one that they've been kept quiet, and you know what? I don't think they want to come out and twist anything because of all the crap that we have afterwards now.
Right. Right.
And they've been kept in the loop on this, actually. Because there was people that got business cards from them while they were down here and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they've been sent all kinds of new information on stuff, and nobody started, like, a word from them at all.
Well, I mean, I heard from the Justin, the producer, just a couple weeks ago, and he said it was going to come out like in the first week of November unless it gets pushed to the second week. And he and I haven't been super chatty about it, but because remember, he's just a field producer. He just collects as much footage as he can, and he sends it off to New York, and they're the ones that spin the story how they see fit. So we're kind of at the mercy of those guys. But from what I understand, if you believe in karma or whatever, maybe just because he's a millennial, he is not with National Geographic anymore. So he is not their field producer. I don't know what he's doing. But I won't know any more than that at this point because he is gone from there. He gave me his new email address and he's doing it. But it'll come out. I know that. They are not going to waste the production value. It's too tasty, and everybody watches each other. So the second CBS ran that story, that was it. That cemented other people. Nat Geo, any doubts they had about running it, they're like, no, we're running this. No way is CBS going to get a leg up on us because it's like, oh yeah, we've got way more footage than CBS does, and they ran point. They were there. They were the ones. In fact, they were the ones that ultimately decided whether CBS was even going to be there. So I'm curious to see how much of a program they'll run. Will they run 30 minutes? Will they use the whole program? That I don't know. Anyway, anything else I can do for you tonight?
Oh man, thanks for taking the call. Thanks to all your other callers so far tonight have been great.
Yeah.
Great show, man. Thanks a lot for everything you do. Except for
Wes. Wes is never good, but that's a whole nother thing. He's terrible. I don't even know why he calls in. Hopefully he's not listening now. Anyway, man, I gotta go. I gotta pick up 954. But we'll talk soon, okay?
All right, bro. Talk to you later, man.
See ya. Bye. All right, let's go to 954. 954, you're on with Strange World. Sorry you had to wait 30 minutes or so. What's happening?
Oh, that's okay. Hi, this is Elaine from Flat Earth for Dummies 101.
Right on.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Mike? Oh, you did not call me Mike.
Mark.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. At least you didn't call me like Eric, like some people do in emails. And my parents wanted to call me Mike, but changed it to Mark at the last minute. I don't know why. it's still, somewhat biblical because,
Let me say 13 minutes after 11 here, so I'm, I can be forgiven for this.
You can. You're fine. You're fine.
I'm in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've been loving your show tonight, and I agree with the last caller. You've had some very interesting callers. I want to ask you about this CBS thing because I didn't watch it.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's up on YouTube, so
yeah. All you have to do is type in Flat Earth and hit search. It'll be the first one at the top of the list. It is Flat Earth. Oh boy, they called it Science Deniers, but it's from CBS. The channel name is CBS, and it was it's their Sunday big show, CBS Sunday Morning, and they just ran it.
Yeah, is that like?
Go ahead.
Yeah, is that like Jane Pauley?
That is Jane Pauley.
That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh boy, I got to see that. I'm so glad you were talking about that.
Yeah. Definitely check it out.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to tell you, I had put up a video last week on Curvature,
mm-hmm.
and I got the most bizarre comment. Well, of course, first thing I learned when I started doing videos and put up a web page and all that is you got a lot of haters out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yes. But I'm nice and calm and, just whatever. So anyway, this one guy I put up on Curvature, and he writes me and he says, sorry, but 8 inches per mile is only for short distances, just so you know. Okay, let me think about that one. And you put them together that eventually you're going to have a wrong distance. And I said, maybe the size of the earth changes. So then he writes me back, oh, if you put it on a graph, you get an arc. He screws it up by saying, do we live on an arc? And I says, no. And we don't live on a spinning ball either. How would you have answered that question, Mark?
Ask me that one more time.
8 inches per mile is only for short distances. Okay.
Yeah.
And not for longer distances.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then,
No. The 8 inches. Okay. I know that. I actually know this one. The 8 inches per mile squared works actually pretty good. Again, if you follow their math, up to the first 500 plus miles. And then after that, of course, it's not gonna be perfectly 8 inches per mile squared, right? Nothing's that perfect. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, 8 inches.
Right.
Wow, that works out. No. But for the first 500 miles, yeah, it should work just fine. And basically, because every one of our observations happens underneath 500 miles, we don't care what the special math is afterwards. It gets into some pretty funky algebra after that. So it's like, but for the first 500 miles, you're just fine. Nobody after that, who cares?
Right, exactly. Because you're not going to be seeing 500 miles anyway because of the density of the atmosphere and lots of other stuff.
No, and I mean, with the infrared photography, we've actually been doing pretty well with it. But anyway, it's that's how I would answer.
Yeah. And then, and I pointed out to him that he kind of had it turned around. But you told me that because I didn't realize that it was just the first 500 miles.
Yeah. And I'm rounding it a little bit. I mean, who knows exactly where it is, but I can tell you this: for the first 500 miles, it's absolutely fine. And then afterwards, because what they're saying is once you get out to certain distances, the 8 inches per mile, it comes up short, I believe. So you have to keep increasing it. You do a slight percentage every 100 and something miles, and so then it gets tricky. But again, it's like, okay, I just simplified it and said, okay, well, since we're not doing observations over a certain thing, then I don't really care what that math is. And there's some charts out there, but no one's going to memorize it because why would we? It's like, look, most of our stuff is under 50 miles. Again, which is, hey, there's a boat out at 15 miles. We can see it. You shouldn't be able to see it. That's it. And that point, 8 inches per mile squared is perfect. That's all you need. And if they say anything different, what I'm waiting for is someone to slip up and say, oh, it's not 8 inches. It's like, really? What is it then? Oh, it's like, if they can't give you a number like, well, it's 3 or it's 12 or it's 8 or it's 6. It's like, really? Because if I'm waiting for somebody to throw one of those numbers out there, then I say, oh, fine. Tell me where you looked that up. Tell me how you came up with that. Because every once in a while, you will get a super nerd that will say, well, it's not 8. In fact, yeah, the Peanut Gallery says technically the raw number, if this is true, the Peanut Gallery is throwing to me, is 8.00003434578364578664. So, but the first 3 are first 4 freaking zeros, right? Which means you can use it just fine for anything we're doing. Sorry. Anyway, what else you got?
So, well, okay. Just one more thing on that. When it gets over 500 miles, which I realize, we don't really need to worry about,
right?
Does it increase from 8 inches?
Yes. It increases after 8 miles. Or after 500 miles, it starts it increases every so often. There's a sliding scale at that point. So you can give it to them and say, fine. That's what I do. I go, yes, I get it. After 500 miles, it's more than 8 inches per mile squared. So it's like, well, no, technically less than 500. It's like, look, we don't care. We're not. No one's doing observations at 1,000 miles right now, unless you're doing. There's a couple guys that are actually trying to do from planes, but I do not care. Because 8 inches per mile. Because remember, when it boils down to it, we don't believe in the 8 inches per mile anyway. We're saying, look, it's nothing. There is no number.
Right. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, you're the only one that's telling us it's this 8 point whatever thing, and go tell us. I don't care what you think the number is. Tell us an object in the distance that we can't see. That's the big one I throw at science. I say, find me a lighthouse or a boat or a landmass somewhere off in the distance that you come back at us and say, okay, you're on the shore and you're saying no matter what you do, you can't see that from 60 miles away. It's never been done. And we've done thousands of these tests now.
Right.
It's like, look, there is no such thing. You should be able to find something for us that's mirage proof or refraction proof or atmospheric lensing proof or something where the light doesn't bend, where you literally nothing you can do. You cannot see that lighthouse. And you can't do it during a cloudy day or in fog or something like that. So anyway, sorry. What else did you have?
I put up a video today on that dealt with the motion of the Earth.
Right.
And in it, I mentioned, Michelson and, the Michelson-Morley experiment.
Michelson, Michelson, either way, that's fine.
Yeah,
I say Michelson-Morley, but that's fine.
No, Albert Michelson.
Right.
I think his name is Michelson. He's the one that.
Is he tied with Morley? Is he tied with Morley?
Yeah.
It's probably just it's probably Michelson. But if it's Michelson, that's fine too. If Michelson Morley or Michelson Morley, I don't.
So if it is,
that's fine. But I know which one you're talking about, which is is the Earth actually moving through space? And that was their test that they did along with another guy named Airy, which is known as Airy's failure. And they figured they could test to see whether there was an ether, like we were flying through some spatially cloudy thing, and they could measure that. And neither of them measured it. And in fact, Airy's failure was probably the best of the two because his quote was so great, where he said, either I'm wrong, which he said, either I'm wrong or the Earth just isn't moving. And since everybody believed the Earth was moving, he had to be wrong. And the same thing with Michelson, Morley.
Well, I'm sure Michelson is probably
right.
It's
fine.
I've
It's
only
fine.
seen it in writing. But
That's
anyway, yeah. And so this guy was trying to tell me, he was commenting on it, that the experiment had nothing to do with the motion of the Earth. So
maybe not all right. I see where he's going with this. And technically he's right, but only from one sense. Does it have to do with the Coriolis effect spinning on its axis? No, it does not. Does it have to do with the Earth circling around the sun? Yes, it does. He's nitpicking there. It's like, fine. It doesn't have to do with the spinning, but it does have to do with the Earth circling around the sun, which is just as good, if not better. It's like, because he's saying that it's not moving through space. So fine.
Right.
Yeah.
This might be a little controversial, but I referred him to the Sun Genus article that he wrote.
Right. Robert
about
Sungenis.
Einstein. Yeah. Yes. You know who I'm talking about. However you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You know what? I'm going to be pronouncing I started out.
No, that's okay. By the way, you've got a minute. You get a minute till we're going to music. So do it fast.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, I sent him the link to that article.
Oh, good.
And so because he was claiming that Einstein didn't say the thing about not being observable, but the proving the motion of the Earth. So
by the way,
I know I'm running. Listen. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just since you're short on time, I just wanted to ask you: did you get the copy of my book that I sent?
I did. Thank you very much for that. It was much appreciated. I was hoping you would follow up with an email to me and ask me, because I get so many emails. I got the copy of the book. I was going, oh crud. Who am I emailing back to thank for this? Thank you for that.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I tell you, I have been so busy because I'm new at this, and I had to learn a program to be able to put my videos up.
I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the music's playing. Thank you. Thank you. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, and thanks for taking my call.
All right. Thank you for the.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. Yeah, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. And we're taking calls tonight. Phone number, of course, to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Let's go right to 814. Wow, they've been waiting an hour. Sorry, 814. And I've been taking these in order. Sorry, calls are taking a long time tonight. What's happening?
Hey, not too much. How you doing, Mark?
I cannot complain. And if I did, I suppose quite a few people would listen. What's happening in your neck of the woods? Hey, you're on mute. What happened? Anyone hear him? Peanut Gallery, chime in. I can't hear this guy. Hate to see that happen. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to have to put him back on mute. Don't know what happened. If you're 814, yeah, can't hear him. 814, call back and I'll pick you up. There's only a couple of people ahead of you right now. And one of them is 250, which is one of my favorite places up in Canada. What is going on up there in beautiful British Columbia? 250. Oh, don't make me say it, because the other guy at least picked up. 250, you are on mute right now. I will toggle the mute button so you hear the cool little thing. Oh, rookie mistake. Oh, and they dropped. Maybe he didn't want to get picked up. Whoever you were up in British Columbia, please do call back, and I won't pick you up if you don't want me to. That's fine too. Let's go over to 254. 254, you are on with Strange World right now. Boy, you better pick up.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
That's a girl. I knew Texas wouldn't let me
I'm
down.
like, what happened? How could they be on hold for like an hour and then like go silent?
Every once, well, you know what it is? It's that nobody remembers that last number, the number you're supposed to call in just to listen, and then I don't see you on the call board. In fact, PA just dropped, and hopefully they'll come back in. So, what can I do for you?
Not much. I was just, I was actually calling to ask you if are you familiar with the channel In Truth by Grace? She did phenomenal work, like with looking at hurricanes.
Wait a minute. This sounds really familiar. Is she the woman that just recently did? She only has like 20,000 subs, and she the one that was talking about that last thing that happened to Florida. She broke it down like it was a targeted thing. Was that her?
She's been doing it for like a year, though. I mean, she's awesome.
That is so weird that you would mention that, because I watched 3 or 4 of her videos recently that were done after, and what do they call it? Mexico Beach? I don't know. What was the big city that got hammered?
Oh man, it doesn't have Mexico Beach, and then like it started with a P, I think.
Yeah, doesn't really matter. So the last
Panama
hurricane.
Beach.
Panama Beach. Well, whatever. The point was how she broke it down. Because she looked at through all the sensor buoy data.
Buoys and everything.
Oh yeah, and that was fast. For you guys that don't know what happened down there, and all the news people said the same thing. It's like, wow, this hurricane came out of nowhere. No, it really came out of nowhere. Meaning, looking at the sensor buoy data, it went from just a mild storm to hurricane, and it only stayed a hurricane for 15 minutes. And then just...
And the area that it hit was very small, like a
very narrow. It should... You're right. The eye of the hurricane...
If y'all listening have not seen In Truth by Grace, you need to look up her channel, because she is awesome.
Fascinating breakdown where she laid it all out and said, look, the path of this thing was too narrow. It was only like 23 miles, and the cities that were on the cusp of it wasn't that which is half as narrow as it should be. But what was really interesting were the cities on the outline, because remember, it goes from hurricane to tropical storm on the outside. It's not like you get saved. Fine, your city doesn't get wiped out, but you're still going to lose roofs and cars and stuff like that yourself. And the cities that were just outside that 23-mile
small burst
looked like a what?
It was like a small burst, like boom.
If you believe in targeted energy weapons, where come on, let's face it, the military has been working on some weird stuff over the years, and it would be it's something, of course, especially the Americans would delve into, which is the great thing about a weather weapon, if you can perfect it, is that you can
improve it.
Exactly. You can launch it at a country, do massive property damage, not that much in the way of physical casualties, like people, you generally try to get out of the way, but
economic damage.
Economic damage, and there's no signature to it. It's like a storm hits, and people look at it going, you can't pin it on anybody, and it's fascinating. People have kind of talked about over the years.
Weapon. It's got to be the greatest weapon of all time. I mean,
yeah. And would you test this on?
Panama.
Panama Beach. Peanut Gallery just kicked in. And yes, Peanut Gallery says, I saw this movie. It was called Superman 3 with Richard Pryor. Yeah. Because weather manipulation. And here's the theory behind it. Weather is all about energy and energy transfer. That's not a big secret. We all know this. But can you take an existing storm? You have to have something. You have to have something to start it. An area like the Gulf of Mexico where you can just manipulate energy.
Or you got the moisture.
You got the moisture, you got the heat, you got the lower pressure and the high pressure. Can you guide things in a certain direction? How precise can you be? I mean, come on, all the news people said the same thing. It's like, wow, glad it hit that part of Florida where there was nobody living there by comparison. I mean, yeah, it did a horrible property damage, but compared to there's a lot of people that live in Florida. Massive. I mean, they got 3 NFL teams down there. And, that was the only place it hit, was this little sliver. It was fascinating. I love that breakdown. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually almost forgotten about it.
Yeah, she did a great breakdown. I mean, she's been doing it for at least over a year, around a year that she's been watching all these different storms coming in, looking at the buoys, and she's been noticing a pattern of things happening. And she's like, these are not behaving normally, and the winds are not recording of a hurricane until they're get right up on the land,
Right.
And
she's a data
that's
hound.
very interesting as well.
Yeah.
She's a data hound, and I love that. I love that about her.
And
did you see her breakdown about the one that's going on in California where they, I can't even think of what the electric company is out there. It's like P something. It's P&M or whatever.
That's right. What'd she say?
Well, they're cutting people's electricity off because they're like the high winds are coming in, and last time the high winds got up, they blamed it on the fire starting because of the electric company and the winds and the electric going down. So they shut the electricity off to all these people's houses and stuff in California. Like this just happened a couple of days ago, and she was looking at the wind recordings. You'll have to just go check it out.
And it was
1 mile an hour here.
What they were saying.
0.1, 0.1. It was like no wind. She's like, why are they shutting all these people's electricity off when there's not even any wind being recorded? I mean, it was like
I have a theory behind that.
I think 5 or 8 was the highest wind she found.
Eventually,
anyway,
one of the there's objectively one of the 3 greatest Twilight Zone episodes was called "The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street," which talked about which showed kind of a breakdown. Remember, this was in the 50s. What would happen to an average neighborhood when you killed the power and then let the people kind of twist in the unknown, the fear of the unknown, and they turned on
electricity.
And in fact, my survival guide, which I give out to people free, is based on a long-term power outage because I was in a really mysterious blackout in Colorado. The whole West Coast went down in the 90s. And it supposedly started, it was like a rolling blackout, and it started in California, and it made it as far as Colorado. And the whole city of Boulder went down, a city of 100,000 people. And it was a beautiful sunny day in the summer. And people were just kind of milling around, trying to figure out what to do. Now, nobody panicked in this case. It only lasted like half a day. But it was interesting. And so, yeah, if you want to test how...
I kind of would have been panicking if I
in the 90s, it wouldn't have been as bad. Nowadays, since everything's more integrated, it would have been pretty. People jump on. I mean, well, you just saw what happened when YouTube went down for an hour, which was interesting in itself. It just went down for a whole hour. All of YouTube went down just before the show started.
Oh, I did not know that. I was going to ask.
You look up on the news.
Question to you.
I'm sorry.
I heard the internet was going to crash. That was going to be my next follow-up question to you, is that the internet was going to crash they said a couple of days ago, within the next 48 hours, the internet might crash for a little while because Russia is doing something to
right.
crap and all that crap. I don't know what about that was going on, but
I mean, well,
I didn't even notice it did.
No, it didn't. It didn't. But YouTube was interesting because remember, they have 1 billion channels on that, I believe, or 1 billion subs or whatever it is. Yeah, 1 billion channels. And that, again, YouTube going down for a solid hour, that's kind of a big deal because there's a lot of people tied to it, especially if you're under 30. And people were panicking pretty quick. And as you can imagine, our community is panicking because that's where most of our content is. But
exactly.
So yeah,
and they were freaking out that it might not come back.
So, but yeah, that is a question. So, if Russia launched, let's say, a term denial of service? Wow, I called it terms of service. Denial of service attack, where you overwhelm the Google servers because Google owns YouTube. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they could pull it off. They recovered fairly quickly, though. I mean, they recovered in an hour. The bad thing about denial of service attacks is you can only go so long before the countermeasures kick in. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about the internet stuff because the powers that be need the internet as the vehicle. They need social media as the vehicle to keep everybody on the same page. Everyone talks about the apocalypse.
That's how they keep the propaganda going.
Exactly. Well, no, it's true. It's very, very true. And it's a double-edged sword. It's like, you'd love to shut it down and have everyone freak out. But at the same time, once that happens, you can't tell everybody what you want them to know. You can't spin. The spin ends at that point. So you got to keep it up and running. So when people say, the power's going to go out and all this, in fact, let's see, China would do it first.
Well, if the internet went down like this, what I saw was talking about, like, because the internet's connected across the board, really, and so if the internet went out, that means the banks aren't going to be working.
Oh yeah,
so many different things that are not going to be working, and I was like, how is that going to be happening?
You can't kill.
People are going to go nuts.
Yeah, you can't kill the whole internet. Sorry, can't do it.
No,
it doesn't work into the storyline. If you want to be the menacing overlord of the world, you can't lose connectivity. You can use partial connectivity, sure. You can take out a zone here and there, but you've got to give them access to information. Otherwise, I mean, look at Katrina. When Katrina happened, and the internet wasn't exactly super efficient like it is now. People were freaking out because they just didn't know. Remember, the television wasn't working either. And so at nighttime, it was just gangs.
Nothing was working.
Yeah. And so, but that seemed like an interesting exercise I think the government, there was complaints about the National Guard didn't step in for a while. And I think they were looking at the city going, okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see how bad it gets. And it got bad. I mean, they looted everything. And at nighttime,
they wanted to see what would happen. I think that might have been a test as well.
Sure.
I wish that In Truth by Grace would have been around back then and doing what she does now, because if she was around back then, she might be able to go back even and look at that and all the bullies and all their. But they probably could have changed them by now. Yeah. She was recording them live when she did her videos from the other thing. So
interesting woman. And
I don't know the lady, but I think she's doing some phenomenal work, and people need to look at what she's doing.
You know what? I don't think that it's a coincidence. I was looking at her stuff this week. So, yeah. Anyone, go ahead.
I never shout anybody out, but as far as channels, I shout out my family and people I love. But I'm shouting her out because I was like, wow, she blew my mind.
All right. Go ahead and give her a channel.
She's been blowing my mind for a while, but
go ahead.
By Grace.
Truth by Grace. That's her channel name.
It's In Truth by Grace. It's like a little IN and then capital T and regular letters, Truth, and then by Grace, capital Grace. But
all right,
it's all together. She's awesome.
Cool.
You can plug her. It's your channel.
I am plugging her. Look, I already said, I watched her stuff and I really liked it. All right. Anyway, I'm going to. I've got to run, but we'll talk.
I know you got tons of stuff. I just really wanted to bring her up because people need to look into. There's a ton of avenues to go in. It was a good one. She was a good one.
All right,
Mark. I hope you have a great night. Yeah. God bless.
All right, you too. Talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, and Murphy's Law. The call that was right after her dropped off. So I'm going to briefly mention the article from 2008 that the Peanut Gallery sent me about Pakistan's accidental YouTube rerouting exposes trust flaw in net. This was back when YouTube wasn't as gigantic as it is now. That was something that happened, and I don't know how quickly they took down the whole site for several hours on Sunday back in 2008. February or early 2008. Interesting story. Wow. Thanks for that, Peanut Gallery. And you know what? There's 9 minutes left, and I have cleared the call board. Go figure. So, last chance. Anybody who wants to call in, I will take 2 calls. 213-233-3998. Anyone who wants to call in, I will take it. Oh, I should plug some stuff too, says the Peanut Gallery. What do you want me to plug? I already plugged the conference. Let's see. We'll redo the stuff from this morning. Okay, so I am going to be in Hot Springs, Arkansas on Saturday. I'm flying in Friday. I am doing the film festival in Hot Springs on Saturday. I'm doing the Q&A after the showing of Behind the Curve. Then on Sunday, I am going to be in Bellingham, Washington. I am hauling ass up to Bellingham to go to Doctober and doing that. And also, we'll plug, don't forget, if you're going to come in early for the Denver conference, there's going to be a billboard event on Wednesday. You can check out all the details by emailing DITRH directly and just bugging the hell out of him, or you can check out the FE podcast for last minute instructions. What else? What is Peanut Gallery going to say? Oh, plug your WoW guild. Okay. Yeah, sure. My World of Warcraft guild, which is actually called Flat Earth. I'm pretty sure it's the only one that's called Flat Earth, because I'm also pretty sure it's the last expansion. I am hoping that this is the merciful end of Warcraft after 14 long, wonderful years. You guys, anyone out there still playing Warcraft, you want to jump in, you can jump into my guild. I'll set you up with as much stuff as I can. I'm going to blow all my gold. I've got millions. And you guys can, have fun with me. It's a pretty casual guild, and I would imagine there's still some people out there in Flat Earth that play WoW. 14 years is so long in the video game world. Imagine that you're 10 years old when you start Warcraft, and now by the time it's done, you're pretty much married. That's how long it's been running. I mean, video game years is even worse than cat years. It's forever. 14 years it's unprecedented. Nobody even knows what to make of it. So, what else? Conference tickets. You can get them, of course, at fe2018.com. But if you're trying to sell them, they can be transferred. You can't get a refund on the tickets, but they can be transferred to other people. Let me know. I will try to set you up. Do a small rant on the failed rocket launch. Oh, the Russian one? I read that article today, and there was just nothing exciting about it for me when I read it. There was nothing. No, I didn't like that article at all. Also, I'm gonna plug the CBS thing, because some people haven't seen it yet. If you have not seen Flat Earth on national news, we were on CBS Sunday Morning. Wonderful show hosted by Jane Pauley. And Patricia Steer did a stellar job. I want to thank her again for just holding fast. And you only saw 5 minutes of her interview. She sat with them for a whole hour, and I don't think she blinked once. She just stared him down, full of passion. It was a beautiful day in Arcadia, California. She did a fantastic job. Let's see. Peanut Gallery also said it was the 3rd failed rocket launch in history. What are the odds? I don't know. Look, how much do you want me to follow these guys? Every time I see Scott Kelly or Terry Virts or Tim Peake or Chris Hadfield, I just want to throttle them. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give a quick shout out to the guy. I don't remember his name. I think it was Andrew from the video Round and Curvy, because he did a interview on a radio station, a decent radio station. Yeah, I think it was in Texas, where he went up against the only civilian astronaut alive. I think his name was, if you believe that sort of thing, his name was Richard Garriott, like Marriott, only spelled with a G. And this guy came on and said, oh, yeah, apparently his father was an astronaut in the mid-'70s. And no, I'm not going to read one email. There was an email I had said, you know what? Should I read an email? You know what? We could end this with an email. Let's see if I got one. This one's called, I can read it real fast. This one's called Flat Earth Q&A from the UK. Hi, Mark. Firstly, I can say initially and with a big smile on my face, you get I think that's a British thing. As with most, your clues changed my life, although already questioning our told history after spending some time in Egypt and questioning the recorded histories been taught, then stupidly reading an article on the problems with evolution not being all it's sold and seeing something big was being hidden or rather uninvestigated. I ventured down the 911 or 9/11, and every other conspiracy route, falling further down the rabbit hole by the day, pushing aside FE as all do. Now this, in 3 years of Flat Earth believer, I can remember exactly where I was, both with evolution and FE when it just hit me. Oh, crap, my initial thoughts. I've watched it grow at an alarming rate. It's certainly changed me for the better. So, along with you, Git. Why does he keep calling me Git? Thank you for your ever-pleasant manner and your desire for the rest of humanity to see how deep this lie goes, but mainly thank you for putting the pieces together. I've even started to refer to us flat earthers as we when in discussion, and although going through some changes in my own life, this has kept me grounded and with newfound faith. And you've made it what it's grown into, so well done. I don't know if that's an actual sentence. I only wish others would see, but can do but try. There is a link somewhere between the ancient civilizations all across the plane, and hopefully my research will unearth some more hidden truths. I'll keep you updated. I've listed below some links which may be of interest to you, and the alarming references to the age of decadence and the popularity of chefs, of all things, chefs, C-H-E-F-S, in the second, and will hopefully give you insight into my question. For now, can you please send me the 12 slides, the survival guide, the 5 science questions, and the coast-to-coast interviews? But my question to you is this. When you think the news will break, how long do you think they can keep this lie up? Not long. The 100th monkey effect is imminent at this point, and they know it. You could literally march all the thousands of scientists out there, you could march them straight into social media and have them try to, raise hell, and they aren't even going to make a dent. It's too late. It's too late. We've had too much of a head start. We've had 3 years, and almost unchallenged 3 years. 3 years, and then finally Richard Garriott gets involved. Yeah, sorry. Too little, too late. The illusion of freedom will continue for as long as it is profitable to continue the illusion, but at the point the illusion becomes too expensive to maintain, they will take down the scenery, move the tables and chairs out of the way. Then they will put back the curtains and you will see the brick wall at the back of the theater. Yeah. I see the lie, programming, propaganda, and distraction everywhere and almost everything, and you can't go back once you've seen what's going on. And I think the money's running out. Thanks, Mark. It's a pleasure to listen to your show, and I will send this through to your questions and answers. So if you read it on air, please let me know if you have time that you have. As always, keep it flat. My heartfelt thanks, Mark Lavelle from Surrey, UK. P.S. I love the fact we have a secret sign. Yeah. P.P.S. If I can ever help in any way, just ask. P.P.P.S. Probably one of the best opening speeches I've ever seen was from your recent FE opening in Canada. Aw, thanks again. Awesome. That's great. And we still have 45 seconds. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that called in tonight. It was a pleasure talking to everybody. Sorry for the technical issues over the last 2 weeks, but we think we've got those knocked out for now. The Peanut Gallery wants to get a parting shot in with 30 seconds. I don't give you permission often to read emails. Yeah, I get it. The blame Paul. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, I should blame Paul on the plane. He's on a show before mine, and yeah, it's a good show, and it's about flat Earth, and it's really interesting, and he has some good phone calls. But yeah, you know what? As a person, I just don't like him or trust him, for that matter. And that's from me, a guy who's been accused of being a shill. Hey, I'll be here next week. Same flat time, same flat channel.
It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United